Local news that matters. This is CBS 17 News.
New tonight, returning to normal.
The more hours we can be open, the more customers we can accept.
CBS 17 has team coverage on the reopening of North Carolina and what you need to know before heading out this weekend. If you're feeling down during the pandemic, local experts say you're not alone.
We really have this epidemic of anxiety and depression.
Ways you can get help. COVID-19 vaccinations may become an annual tradition, but a new vaccine in development could change that. We'll tell you why. Coming up next.
And now, your forecast first from the CBS 17 Storm Team.
Well, our cloudy work week is now over, but it's about ready to be a cloudy weekend. Good evening. Happy Friday. Glad you're here with us on CBS 17. I'm Wes Hohenstein. No rain on the radar. We do have clear skies, but that's only temporary. And tomorrow morning, we'll start off a little cooler. It was close to 70 this morning, but Saturday morning with a few clouds and dry weather, we'll be in the 50s. By lunchtime, clouds are on the increase. We're still dry as temperatures climb towards 70. There is rain and storms tomorrow afternoon, and severe weather is possible Sunday. I'll walk you through both days this weekend, hour by hour, tell you what and when to expect it in less than 15 minutes.
Now, breaking news from CBS 17 News.
We start tonight with breaking news at 11. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rod Carter. Angela has the night off. 2 NC State baseball players are suspended from the team after being arrested earlier today by campus police. David Harrison is charged with breaking and entering. William Kleiman is charged with assault and battery and breaking and entering. And according to the team's roster, both are left-handed pitchers for NC State. 1 year after Governor Roy Cooper issued the first executive order limiting mass gatherings and banning indoor dining at restaurants, things are starting to slowly get back to normal. New at 11, many of the governor's COVID-19 restrictions are over or at least relaxed. CBS 17's Nick Sturdivant live for us tonight in Raleigh. And Nick, I'm sure people are taking advantage of their new freedoms out there.
Oh, yeah, Rob. We are on Glenwood Avenue here in Raleigh. Take a look at things behind me. It definitely looks like a weekend, a typical weekend pre-pandemic. Now, this is a big weekend for bars, and bar owners I spoke with told me they are scrambling to prepare for the longer hours.
Friday night on Glenwood South in Raleigh, a bit different than we've been accustomed to in a while. More like a year.
The time change and easing restriction it's exciting, but makes it a little busier.
Carlos Rivers works for Hibernian Hospitality Group, which oversees the Raleigh Beer Garden, Hibernian Pub, both on Glenwood Avenue. Like many places, adjusting to Governor Roy Cooper's new executive order that began Friday evening, which means no more curfew and 50% capacity for bars.
So it's a lot more hours for our staff. It gives them a chance to make some more money, and for our hourly staff, just get more hours in general so they can make up some of the money they lost during COVID. But for us, it was really just getting everybody back on board as quickly as possible. So some of them were taking the unemployment, which is understandable, and couldn't come back because they were scared. Some of them are still nervous, so we're not at full staff.
Happy Endings in Raleigh also planning to bring more employees back.
Hopefully hiring a couple more people if the volume lets us. 50% is great for us. It's a huge increase from 30, even though it doesn't really sound that much. But in the industry world, that's amazing.
All while reminding folks to wear a mask still, with signs posted everywhere. But at the end of the day, for bar owners like Joey Barber, it's about the bottom line.
Because the biggest thing is the more hours we can be open, the more customers we can accept, and the more customers we can have in, the more money we're going to make. So that really helps the small businesses.
Do you see the light at the end of the tunnel?
We're getting there. We're getting there for sure.
And Rod, this is a look at Glenwood South. We're right across the street from Carolina Ale House, again here in downtown Raleigh. Yes, the idea is to make more money with the 50% capacity and the more people coming into businesses, but the bar owners also kept in mind that they want to keep people safe. And the two things they told me that people should keep in mind if they decide to go out this weekend is obviously wear your mask and then social distance. In downtown Raleigh tonight, Nick Sturdivant, CBS 17 News.
All right, Nick, thank you. We continue our team coverage tonight with CBS 17's Imani Payne in Durham. And Imani, what's going on there in the Bull City?
Yeah, well, as you can see, Rod, there are still people gathered out here tonight. We've seen so many people flocking to downtown to give their business to bars, restaurants, and even barber shops, hoping to return to normal. Today, Kedron Mims of Rivals Barbershop able to open at 100% capacity. It's welcome news after a challenging year, but he plans to take things slow.
It's give us an opportunity to get back to doing business as usual. We're going to ease into it because still, we need to be safe and just to make sure that we do it the right way.
However, many people around Durham were quick to head downtown tonight, taking advantage of the good weather and increased capacity limits at bars and restaurants.
It is so wonderful to see so many families out, so many dogs out. I know not only the COVID crisis, but the winter we've had, it feels like everyone's emerging again, and it really feels like, oh, this is what we have to look forward to this summer.
This couple out for the very first time in 1 year.
We're just walking to see people, to see life happening, to see lights shining, starving for normal life.
While staff at the Durham say they're already seeing the payoff.
We actually have more employees coming in next week to get them all back and rolling, getting more money in their pockets, which is always a great thing. And as you can see, everybody's definitely enjoying it, but making sure everybody's still 6 feet and everybody's still comfortable.
Now, officials also say it's important that folks wear their face mask and continue to be mindful of social distancing requirements as folks prepare to head back outdoors. For Now We're Live in Durham, Imani Payne, CBS 17 News.
All right, Imani, thank you. And here's what you need to know about these latest restrictions. Breweries, wineries, and gyms can open at 75% capacity. Bars, sports arenas, other live performance venues can open at 50% capacity. Again, masks and 6 feet of social distancing are still required. The alcohol curfew, by the way, is gone, and businesses are still allowed to sell mixed drinks to go. The state is reporting a new cluster of COVID-19 at Wake County private schools and learning centers. All right, so one of the biggest increases is at Cardinal Gibbons High School. The school reports 18 new cases, bringing the active case total now to 23. Our Lady of Lourdes reports 11 new cases, and Precious Lambs Early Learning Center has 22 new cases. And ABC Land reports 10 new cases for a total of 15. All new at 11, Duke Health says it has now identified 24 COVID-19 cases connected to the outbreak on Duke Raleigh's 5th floor. They are now conducting regular deep cleaning of that unit and its common areas as well. Visitors to the unit are also restricted until the full cleaning and review process is complete. Nearly 4.5 million people in North Carolina have gotten at least one shot in the arm, and that now pushes up the percent of people fully vaccinated to almost 16%. The percent positive is back down to 4.3%, and now here's a number that no one wants to hear, certainly. Today, we went over the 12,000 mark for COVID deaths, and that comes 1 year to the day after the first reported COVID-19 death here in North Carolina. It's been a very long year, and in some ways things are improving, but White House Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci says we cannot let our guards down now.
When I'm often asked, are we turning the corner? My response is really more like we are at the corner. Whether or not we're going to be turning that corner still remains to be seen.
Dr. Fauci cites the still high level of daily infections across the country as reasons to remain cautious. However, he says if we continue to vaccinate, follow public health measures like the 3 W's here in North Carolina, we will turn that corner soon. Right now, there's speculation that we may all need to get a COVID booster shot each year, similar to the annual flu shot. But one U.S. company is making some progress on a longer-lasting COVID-19 vaccine. Origenics, which is a Tampa-based biotech company, is in the development process for this right now. The company is also working on alternatives to shots like a nasal spray or perhaps a patch. Officials say that would make it easier to administer and to transport to communities that need it most.
We've been working on creating the cell lines and manufacturing and talking with the FDA and setting up the animal studies for that for the last year. And we're ready to go.
The next step, of course, is clinical trials, and the company is hoping to have FDA approval late next year or early 2023. More families are taking advantage of child services because of the pandemic. Youth Villages offers therapy and services for anyone 5 to 18 years old. They serve 1,700 families in all of North Carolina, and they have had more and more referrals in recent months. To adjust with the pandemic, they've bought phones, and wireless modems for families to meet outside or meet while wearing masks.
there's such a need to see families in person because they've been doing telehealth for so long that we are transitioning to what's best for our families.
They're starting to meet in person again with kids more often, hoping to make up for lost time face to face. More and more people say that they are having a very tough time during this pandemic. In fact, new data from the CDC shows more than 40% say they have symptoms of anxiety and depression. Another 25% sought out prescription medication or counseling to help them get by. 11% say they need help, but they just have not sought out the resources to get it. A professor of psychiatry at the UNC School of Medicine says if you are feeling down, there's no shame in reaching out and asking for help.
We really have this epidemic of anxiety and depression in our country right now. And I think it's making it easier for people to reach out because everybody is feeling this way.
And we want to make it easy for you, too. The number on your screen there is a number you can call with the state if you need some help. We posted other resources for you in this story on CBS17.com as well. Tonight, there's a $10,000 reward to find the driver connected to a deadly road rage shooting. Investigators say that Julie Eberly was headed to the beach with her husband yesterday when their car came close to another car during a lane change. Deputies say a man in that other car then pulled alongside of them and started shooting. Eberly was hit. She was taken to the hospital where she later passed away. Her husband, who was driving, was not hurt. Deputies say that shooting suspect was driving a mid-2000 silver or perhaps gray Malibu or Impala with dark tinted windows and chrome around that window frame. The car was last seen heading southbound toward exit 22 into Lumberton. Again, there is a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest and conviction in this case. All new at 11, Cary police have identified the man they wanted to talk to about harassing incidents that took place along the Greenway. Investigators say those incidents that happened Wednesday on the White Oak Creek Greenway appear to be because of mental health crisis. So investigators determined neither race nor ethnicity were factors in this at all. And following the investigation and after talking with the district attorney's office, no criminal charges are going to be filed. Wes, will the sun shine again?
Yes. Not as much as we want, though, this weekend. So we got a little taste of that sun tonight, Rod. As we look at the radar, though, there's not a whole lot going on. That's going to change this weekend. We've got better rain chances, storms, and even severe weather. I'll tell you what and when to expect this weather Saturday and Sunday right after this.
All right, thank you very much. And most of us don't like waiting in line. Imagine waiting in this. Tonight, hundreds of ships carrying all kinds of goods are stuck in watery gridlock. How long it could take to clear the blocked Suez Canal. You're watching CBS 17 News, covering local news that matters.